Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Mahaguru Yash Architecture Classes, and right now we are preparing for our GATE Architecture 2021 exam, and we are right now discussing small topics from different section of the syllabus. So today's topic is from section 6 environment, the older section 6 environmental planning and techniques, and the topic is classification of climate and their manifestations. I know this is a very basic topic, but you never know what gate can ask it. It asks question from your first year and you will be awestruck. Even this can come. That is why let's prepare ourselves from the basics. So, as per the first classification of climate was done by Professor N.K. Bansal in 1988. And according to him, there were six different. According to him, there were five different types of climates: hot and humid, where the mean temperature is more than 30 degrees Celsius and less than 55 degrees Celsius. Warm and humid, as you say warm and humid, obviously your temperature has to be more than 30 degrees Celsius, but since it is humid, so your humidity will increase, so it must be more than 55. When I talk, the next is moderate. Moderate means it's an average temperature, so its temperature is 25 to 30 and it has a humidity of more than 75. The next is cold and cloudy. When I talk about cold, the temperature is low, therefore less than 25. But since it's cloudy, so cloudy means the air, there is a lot of water vapor, hence your humidity would be more than 55. When I talk about cold and sunny, obviously it is cold and sunny. So cold hai, so obviously your temperature has to go less than 25, and sunny, that means the humidity, obviously some of these water vapors would be dried up and you'll have humidity less than 55. The last is composite. So as per composite, when the above 5 does not persist for more than 6 months, the regions come under the category of composite. So, in 2005, the Bureau of Indian Standards standardized the Indian climates in five categories. So, their hot and dry was similar to hot and dry, warm and humid was similar to that suggested by Bansal. But they renamed moderates at temperate climate. The next is they clubbed cold and cloudy and cold and sunny to a single climate known as cold, where the temperature would be less than 25 and the humidity is for all values, and composite remains composite. So what we have seen is, to summarize it, we have two climate categories same: hot and dry and warm and humid as same, moderate being renamed as temperate, cold and cloudy and cold and sunny clubbed as cold, and composite remaining the same. So this chart shows you the different climatic zones. So after this, we shall discuss each and every climate in detail and what are the different manifestations we can do to make a building in that climate. The first is hot and dry. As the name says, you have a lot of solar radiation. Your temperature is around 40 to 25. Since the morning temperature is very high, at night this hotness would be released in air, and this will lead to a very cold nights. And since it is dry, so you have a very low humidity, and the annual precipitation is around 500 mm, sorry. You have clear skies, you have high solar radiations. uh, so to make buildings in hot and dry, these are the manifestation. So when your building is in hot and dry region, you basically have two objectives. First is to resist your heat to come inside, and to promote the heat loss, as in जो भी heat पहले से है, will try to release it. So first objective being resist heat gain. So what can we do is decrease exposed surface by orientation and the shape of the building. You could increase the thermal resistance by adding insulation to the building envelope. You could increase the thermal capacity by increasing the time lag by thickening the external walls. If you have increased, you have many buffer spaces, so this whatever heat is being absorbed can be easily circulated every like in all the space, so have you have an average temperature less. You could decrease the exchange rate, as in if less amount of air is being exchanged between outside and inside, so whatever air is inside would get cooled down, and if there is a continuous exchange of air, you will have more and more temperature. And the last is you will try to increase the surface reflectivity of your building by using pale colored or mosaic tiles. If I talk about heat loss, the only way of heat loss is a lot of ventilation, and air exchange in terms of through buffer spaces or courtyard. So by these buffer spaces, what they do is, instead of constant change, they distribute that whole hot air into a large space. So what happens is you have an average less temperature. And the last is you can increase the humidity level at such areas by having evaporative cooling in water ponds. The next is warm and humid. So if it is warm and humid, so you have an average temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. Here what you have is you have a lot of amount of humidity. So you have an relative humidity of around 70 to 90 degrees Celsius, 70 to 90%. Since it has a high humidity, you have a high precipitation as well, where your precipitation is 1200 mm per year. Wind is very desirable in this climate, because when you have a lot of wind, you feel comfortable and cooled. So when I talk about warm and humid, so obviously since it is warm, you have to resist the heat gain, and it is humid, so you need to provide a lot of you have to promote heat loss. क्योंकि बहुत ह्यूमिडिटी हो जाएगी तो यू विल फील अनकंफर्टेबल, सो जो भी हीट जितना हीट अंदर दबते जाएगा, the comfort your uncomfortable rate would increase. So as say, it is very much similar to in case of warm and humid when I talk about resisting heat gain, and pretty much similar to warm and hot and dry for promoting loss. The only difference here in promoting heat loss is you should have to decrease the humidity levels by creating dehumidifiers, and you can increase the air exchange rate through ventilated roofs. Other than that, here you have buffer spaces in terms of balconies and veranda. The next is moderate. So in case of a moderate climate, you have a temperature from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and a humidity of less than 55 degrees. So you have a comfortable temperature of 30 to 34 degrees Celsius in the day and 17 to 24 at night. You have a varying humidity from 20 to 55 in normal days and 55 to 90 during monsoons. So in case of a moderate climate, what is the main objective? You always have to resist the gain and promote heat loss. So these are the four criteria through which you could easily resist the heat gain and promote heat loss by this. I won't be getting into every detail of it. You could just read by pausing the video in any time you want it. The last is composite. So you remember composite, when any type of climate do not persist for more than 6 months, you get into a composite climate where you have changing temperature every time. Since it's a varying temperature and varying needs, the design criteria would be pretty much different from the rest. So here's the objectives you have to resist heat gain in summer, but in winter you want that heat. Therefore, you resist heat loss in winter. So how can you do that? You could decrease the exposed surface area by orientation and shape of the building, and you could use trees as a wind barriers. Increase the thermal resistance, increase thermal capacity. So what happens is during let's say during summers, it will take a long time for the heat to come in, and when it comes inside, it would be night. And at night you need that heat because of the coolness inside. And during winters, you want that heat not to go out. So when your heat goes out, it's similar to that. Similarly, your heat doesn't move out during late nights all the heat which you need in the morning would come in, and you could store it for the whole night. You could decrease the air exchange rate by weather stripping. Obviously, you have to increase shading because it's hot, and you have to increase your surface reflectivity. The second objective guess is you try to increase heat loss during summers and monsoons. So you use various ventilation appliances like exhaust fans. You try to increase your air exchange rates by courtyard. You try to increase humidity levels in dry summer. So you create you try to have trees and water ponds, and you decrease the humidity in monsoon by dehumidifiers. The last climate here is cold and cloudy and cold and sunny. These two climates are pretty much same, and you know that your cold, so it has to have a temperature, you have to have temperature less than 25, and other than that you have humidity of all levels. So when it's a cold climate, what do you want? You try to resist that heat whatever is there inside, and you try to promote heat gain. So in case of hot climate, we were trying to increase heat lost and decrease heat gain. But here, since it's cold, you want that heat, so you will promote heat gain. So how would you promote heat gain? You try to reduce the shading. You'll use heat appliances, and you'll have different heat trapping technologies, like you can have Trombe wall, you can have a solarium. The next objective being is, whatever heat you gain, you try to keep it inside, so you do not let the heat go out. So you try to decrease the exposed surface area. So when your exposed area is reduced, there will be very less amount of heat going out. You again increase your thermal resistance, increase your time lapse. You decrease the air exchange rate. In case of hot and dry and hot and we were trying to increase the air exchange, so that air exchange rate through ways where your temperature is not increasing. But here we don't want the air to go out, because whatever heat we have, we don't even want to them to go out. In case of hot climate, we were trying to increase the surface reflectivity, but here we are trying to increase the surface absorptivity. So to absorb the surface, we need darker colors. So this is how different techniques could be adopted for different climates. So what I think, this question can be anytime asked in terms of a direct match the following can come. You could have 1 mark or one like a single correct answer option from any one of the, like you can be asked any of the above things. So guys, this is it for today. I'll be back with another video, but before leaving it, I would like to tell you that I have recently launched my own ebook for GATE preparation. This GATE Architecture and Planning 2021. In this book, you could find last 30 years solved question papers. Other than that, I am also providing you with a picture book which will include Pritzker Prize Award winners, landscape details, and 100 plus architects with their buildings. So every architect, you will find around 15 to 16 buildings. So because visually a guy can easily uh, remember that. Other than that, you could just simply buy this the architects and works picture book, which will have 100 plus architects with their buildings, landscape details, and chronologically Pritzker was award winners. So you would be thinking that it's available, it's an ebook, it's available on Amazon Kindle. You need not to worry that I do not have an Amazon Kindle. Amazon has their own Kindle app, which is free of cost from on both iOS and Google Play Store. You could easily download that and have this book on your fingertips. You need not to carry those thick books around whenever you are traveling. You can prepare for this exam on a single touch. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I would love if you could subscribe, share, and comment. I'll be leaving all the description of these of these big books and videos in the description box below. Other than that, do join my Facebook community group, where I would be updating you with the latest gate syllabus and gate updates, and also we could practice together, help each other together, and do well in GATE 11 2021. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.